What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League Podcast. Back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got the co host, Amanda. Great to have you on as always. Ready to talk some football.
Yeah, it's been an interesting week. We're continuing to see the drunkest season of the NFL we've seen, and some huge breaking news today as well.
Yeah, the whole Brandon Ayuk situation, the 49ers, because he's been missing team meetings and team activities, they're voiding all of his 2026 contract guarantees and are planning on releasing him after this season. That's quite a quick turnaround after the huge contract they just gave him, you know?
Well, it's crazy to me that they were still expecting him to be present and stuff, and he was just blowing them off after that contract. Like I know the season-ending injury last October, physically unable to perform in July. They haven't activated him yet, but you're being paid all this money. You have this massive contract. You need to show up. Like that's
Yeah.
crazy to me. He's not responding to texts. He's not showing up at meetings. Like to be willing to sacrifice that much money just because you're stubborn. I mean, maybe he's depressed. I don't know what the reasoning is, but it's crazy that he's not, I mean, he's not reciprocating any of the guarantees and the money that he was promised. He's not doing his part at all.
It's crazy. I don't think we had any clue that it had gotten to be this bad. And
Mm.
he's losing $26 million guaranteed out of this. He better be pretty unhappy to eat that much money.
Yeah, I mean, option bonus would have been 25 million, 1.2 million base salary for next season, 100,000 workout bonuses. Like, that's crazy. Roster bonus of 750,000 for next year per game that he's just throwing away.
It's crazy, and it's been so long since we've seen him on the field. I wonder how much of a contract he's even going to get, next season.
Yeah, I mean, it would be one of those situations where unsigned comes on, he's gonna have to do tryouts. I don't think a team is just gonna bring him in and be like, "Oh yeah, by your name." It's been so long since he's been healthy and active on the field. He's gonna have to work to get himself a spot as a starter.
Yeah, and such a major injury coming back from too. If anything, coming off of such a nasty injury, I would want that guaranteed money, you
Yeah.
know?
Nothing is guaranteed after an injury that bad, but to sacrifice that by just blowing off meetings and not being present and that's the bare minimum. Like you're not even expected to be on the field. You're not expected to suit up. You're not expected to be at practice, but team meetings and you can't even do that.
Man, hire me for 26 million. I'll go to all the meetings you want. And it's going to be interesting what the 49ers do at wide receiver going forward because they got a lot of guys that are just kind of like 1 year guys. Ayuk was supposed to be the number one receiver that they build around, and now with him gone, Debo gone, that's going to be a completely different looking wide receiver room next year.
Yeah,
Ricky
absolutely.
Pearsall, probably the
Yeah.
only guy, but crazy, crazy news in San Francisco. So let's get into Thursday night football. Oh, and by the way, yeah, we're going to be clipping that with our Daniel Jeremiah because we talked about this with Daniel Jeremiah at the beginning of the 2024 season. You had a really good question for him, so we'll add that clip to
Yeah.
that.
Look up the video. We'll post a separate video too. So if you guys want to look that up for some insight from an NFL insider, he had a lot of great information on that from his perspective.
Yeah, one of the best in the business. We were really lucky and blessed to have him on the show. But let's go to week 12, the Thursday night game kicked off the week with the 7-3 Bills at the 5-5 Texans. And how surprised were you, Amanda? We've been high on Keon Coleman since the Bills drafted him, but he's a healthy inactive for a second straight game, and that's not a good sign. Another wide receiver with issues here, and it's not looking good for Keon Coleman with the Bills.
It's crazy how wide receivers want to be the number one player. They want all the attention. They want all the passes going their way, but then they don't shut up and do their job when it's necessary. Like you can't be doing dances and messing around on the field. What was he, the 89th ranked wide receiver coming into this week? Like I
Yeah.
don't understand the need for the spotlight instead of wanting to be a part of a team. Like they didn't play an individual sport. Why are they acting like they did? AJ Brown's another one who comes to mind who, yeah, don't
Yeah.
put me on your fantasy team. I'm not getting enough touches. I'm sorry, is your team leading their division? Are they having a great winning season so far? Shut up. It's a team sport. You're not a golfer. You didn't sign up to play tennis. Why can't you be a part of a team? This is literally what you signed up for. This is what you chose as your career.
Yeah. Yeah, and it should be as long as the team is winning and you're helping contribute in any way possible. I mean, I don't get there's a lot more Terrell Owens at wide receiver position than Jerry Rice's, who are just humble and willing to do whatever it takes. So I hope Keon Coleman gets it figured out and whatever he's going through, but him dancing on the sidelines while being inactive was a terrible look.
It was crazy. I mean, maybe he
Yeah.
was trying to like keep his spirits up or something, but like keep the team entertained. I don't know. But
Maybe he was cold or something.
this Bills team is so funny to me because like this season, I mean, they've beat Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield in a big back and forth blowout game. Like, and then they've lost to Davis Mills, Michael Penix, and
The
Tua.
Dolphins, yeah.
Yeah, like this season that their record and their wins and losses is the perfect embodiment of what this NFL season has been. Because I don't know.
Yeah.
I do know we had questions about that O-line being healthy. Josh Allen getting sacked 8 times, and he's
Yeah.
hard to take down. He's like one of those Big Ben type quarterbacks. Like he stays on his feet. I mean, coming into this game, there were a lot of sacks where people just kind of ran into him, and the rest were like, yeah, 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 that's a sack. Because he
Mhm.
doesn't go down easily. So that O-line was not holding up to that stunning performance by the Texans defense. They were amazing. And they
Well,
absolutely proved why they're the number one defense this week.
exactly. We knew that going into this game that the Texans are the number one defense in football, and this was going to be a tough test. I mean, this isn't a team that you can, easily run through. This is a team that's much improved after an 0-3 start. And you kind of look at him and say, oh, well, CJ Stroud's not playing. We should be able to win this one easily. Davis Mills is getting the job done, and that defense, especially Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter, are nasty. And then they got a great secondary as well.
Yeah, and other than I mean the touchdown interceptions, if you just look at like numbers, like 273 yards for Josh Allen, James Cook for 116, Khalil Shakir for 110, like they look like they were in this game. Like it looks like they should have won, but that turnover ratio was rough.
Yeah, so let's get into this. The Bills, they were up 9-3. It looked like they had everything going, and then the Texans, pull away and win 23-19, their third straight win. Things were looking good when James Cook broke off a 45-yard touchdown. And I think that's the key. They got to get James Cook more involved. He's such an explosive running back, you know?
Yeah, I just don't think there was anything that offense could have done. I mean, I wish the Bills offense could play the Bills defense against them every week. That would be such a better matchup for them. But I think that defense was just ready to go. This was what they've been circling on their calendar for a few weeks. I think they wanted to prove themselves here, and that O-line was just not where it needed to be to stand up against that defense.
Yeah, it's a great point on national TV with all the eyes on them. The Texans wanted to prove that they're for real. And I'm just glad, and I know you are too, that Josh Allen survived this game. That blindside hit he took from Will Anderson Jr. was nasty.
Yeah, he said he lost feeling in his arm for a while.
Jeez, it
Like
looked
when he
bad. It
went
looked like
down, the way
maybe
he
it
was
was,
shaking it, I thought maybe he broke his wrist. I just kept waiting
yeah.
for the news to come out like today that like there was a fracture, like hairline, something. But he was like, yeah, I just lost feeling in it. Like, so it was some nerve, a pinched nerve or something. But that was scary. It got quiet after that hit.
Yeah. Kalen Bullock, a young safety with 2 interceptions in this game. He's really starting to make his mark with Derek Stingley and all those guys over there. They got a hell of a secondary. But this game would have been even more lopsided had Ray Davis not taken a kickback 98 yards for a touchdown. Me and you had texted about that. That was exactly what Buffalo needed in that moment.
Yeah, I just feel like Buffalo is not taking certain teams seriously, and they're just using all their steam. Like Josh Allen had set what 6 touchdowns last week, and then coming into this week, I just feel like they don't have enough weapons on offense to counteract these strong defenses. And we've talked about this for 2 years now. They haven't brought in an obvious number one receiver,
Yeah.
and they don't have that guy.
The one guy that has the ability to do it is the guy that is inactive, healthy inactive, Keon Coleman. And, Khalil Shakir did his best, but then he had a fumble,
Mhm.
that he lost. And I just felt like Josh Allen was trying to do too much. You see that play where he was running around forever and took like a 20-yard sack? It's just
Yeah,
like,
but To be fair, there was another play where he ran around forever and then rushed for what 13 yards and got a first
Yeah.
down. So, I mean,
But
we've seen him, Baker Mayfield and him both will put the team on their back and do whatever they need to do. Sometimes it ends badly with an ugly pick or two. Sometimes it pays off and we see an epic comeback win in the end of the game. But we got to pick at the end instead. It was almost
and
an epic comeback. It was close.
it was a great game. They almost came back. The interception late, and the one thing we always say this: we've been following the Bills closely all these years that they've been a contender. The one thing that trips this team up, you can say the defense, you can say different aspects, not having a true number one receiver, but turnovers. At the end of the day, turnovers always cost this team. And 8 turnovers their past 3 games. That's something they have to clean up.
Absolutely.
So. How about Davis Mills though? You were messaging about this too. Do we have a quarterback controversy in Houston?
I've been saying this for weeks, and guys, I keep going back in our group chat with John Abraham and just responding to my own message. And I was like, I'm going to use my inside voice because I don't want to say this too loud. But is Davis Mills better than C.J. Stroud? And what it's been like 3 weeks now where I've brought that back up. I'm like, I'm not saying he is better, but like, is there a discussion?
Hey, as long as you're winning, you keep winning every week, and it's
It's gonna be awkward when like CJ is like ready to come back, and they're like, well, maybe take a couple more weeks to
yeah.
just let's make sure you're fully ready to go.
But I'm glad to see the Texans back in this. I tweeted last night, this team looks like a playoff team right now.
They do.
So, and
With
that's
Davis Mills at QB.
yeah, and without Joe Mixon, so you got Woody Marks at running back. You got rookies all over the field.
Yeah. Youngins, a bunch of youngins, but they're winning games. That I mean, defense wins championships. I'll say it till I die. That was an epic
Yeah.
performance by that defense.
Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. combined for 4.5 sacks, and Kalen Bullock with 2 interceptions last night, 4 on the season. He's got 9 interceptions since being drafted in 2024. So he's a
He's
ball hawk.
he is. He's great. He would have been a great wide receiver too.
Yeah, he's got hands for sure. And then unfortunately for the Bills, their best corner, rookie Maxwell Hairston, in concussion protocol after this game. So What's your what's your confidence in the Bills right now? They're 7-4. It's looking like they're not going to win the division, but as long as they make the playoffs and hopefully playing their best football, they're capable of beating anybody in the playoffs, right?
I mean, luckily for them, their schedule has a couple should be easy wins. Like they get to play the Browns, they get to play the Jets. I don't know if I call the Steelers an easy win because the Steelers have two personalities. It just depends on which version of the Steelers shows up.
Same as the
Um,
Bills, right?
like the Bengals, like so I mean they've got the Eagles that they have to match up with, which will be a rougher one, and the Patriots, obviously. That game will tell me a lot. If they beat
Yeah.
the Patriots in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then I will be a lot more confident in them, but I don't know. They're one of those teams that like, yeah, they could be. Just like Denver. Denver's winning games, but like I haven't seen them win a matchup that makes me think, yes, this team could go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that's a big win over the Chiefs for both these teams, but
Mhm.
like who are the Chiefs right now,
Yeah, but that wasn't the best Chiefs. Like,
Yeah. Mhm. And then we'll know more about the Texans in week 13. They're at the Colts. So take a 3 game winning streak into Indy. And I keep an eye on the Colts. They got a tough game with the Chiefs. Then they're playing the Texans. And Daniel Jones' turnover numbers are starting to kick up.
Mhm.
Keep an eye on the Colts.
Daniel Jones is trying to be Josh Allen when he grows up. Turnovers in key matchups. Yeah, it's not good. Hopefully he cleans that up because I'm having fun with this Colts team. I like them
Yeah.
winning for no reason. Like nobody picked the Colts, but like the shift in ownership and her being on the sidelines with the clipboard every week. Like I'm rooting for them just because women in male dominated fields and she was killing it.
Yeah, and they're doing it for her dad, right? They're doing it for Jim Irsay. It'd be cool to see them, have success for him. And Jonathan Taylor is an MVP candidate, so I keep
Absolutely.
feeding him like crazy.
Agreed.
But
So let's talk about your team. We talk about some of these other matchups. We talk about how the Steelers have two personalities. We got the Steelers coming into Chicago this week. How are you feeling about that as a Bears fan?
Well, I love the fact that we get to play Aaron Rodgers one more time. All signs are pointing to him playing. He doesn't need surgery. He's going to play through the pain on, that wrist injury. Um, the Bears have not been playing perfect football by any means. It's been kind of sloppy at times. They're lucky to have won 7 of the last 8. But the most encouraging part is that they're doing it in the clutch. And Caleb Williams is making plays when we absolutely need it. It's going to be interesting if we can get it done here. This is a tough matchup. We know Aaron Rodgers has the Bears numbers. And on top of that, the Bears are missing 3 linebackers. Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, and Noah Sewell. We are getting Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon back, but those injuries are going to be an issue, I think.
Yeah, this is so interesting to me because I see Aaron Rodgers versus the Bears. I mean, he was 25 of 30 games against them. Like he completely owned you guys, like a 5-to-1 ratio. Like as a Packers fan, it was great. We're like, oh, easy win this week. I mean, he went on an 8-game winning streak from 2019 to 2022 against the Bears. Like we didn't lose a single game to the Bears with Rodgers. So like that's what I'm used to. But this Bears team has a lot of promise. And the
Yeah.
Steelers are looking a little worn down, a little old, some ugly losses here and there. So this, I feel like this should be a pretty interesting matchup because
Yeah.
both of these teams are confused about who their identity is this season. And it's just like week to week, like which version of the Steelers are you going to get? Are you going to get Caleb Williams popping off like he's an MVP candidate, or are you going to get a rough game, very low scoring? I'm not entirely sure.
I think at some point the Bears are going to come back down to earth. I'm just trying to figure out when and where. You know what I mean? At home against the Steelers is a winnable game. I think it's going to be Black Friday at the Eagles and Week 14 at the Packers, right? Those are going
Yeah.
to be 2 really tough games. So we need this game to get to 8-3 because we know some tougher games are coming soon. The question is, are we going to get it done? And Aaron Rodgers, like you said, everyone knows Aaron Rodgers' success against the Bears. Do you think that Aaron Rodgers has enough left in the tank to bring back the clock, bring back the old, dominance of the Bears, and play a great game against the Bears' depleted defense?
Well, he did say the game focus is more about safety and less about pain management. But I will say a perked up painkillered Aaron Rodgers is a pretty spicy on the field. That's one of my favorite variations of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So I mean, we already know he's playing the game with a fracture in his left wrist. He might come in and be Superman in this one. One thing I'm intrigued about in this one is if you look back at the Vikings matchup, they blitzed Caleb Williams on 67% of his dropbacks. The Steelers defense has the fourth highest blitz rate in the NFL. So I feel like they got a little preview of what this is going to be like. So they kind of are prepared a little bit more for those pressures by TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith. I feel like they got like a nice little preview for what they're going to be facing in this matchup, which I think is great timing for them. So I think they're going to be more prepared for it. But that Bears defense, NFL best 22 takeaways. And Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers is not throwing the cleanest, most accurate throws we've seen out of him this year in some matchups. So it really could go either way.
They could. This is a
What are
toss
you
up.
thinking? What is your pick here?
I'm leaning Steelers, but my family hates it when I pick against the
We
Bears,
really do.
and it could really go either way. What about you? Where are you leaning?
So I went back and forth on this one a lot because I mean my go-to move here is to pick against the Bears, like just
Yeah.
without fail every time. But I actually ended up picking them in the end because I don't trust Aaron Rodgers not to throw a pick. I don't trust him to not take a sack that's going to re-injure the wrist. I'm not entirely sure he's going to be in the full game. If he takes a weird fall in this one, I mean, I feel like overall Chicago is more cohesive and they're healthy, and an injured quarterback tends to lead to turnovers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Caleb Williams, I think he does a great job of protecting the football, but I feel like he's going to have a turnover or two in this game. Probably the same for Aaron Rodgers. I like Kyler Gordon being back because they like to blitz him off the
Mhm.
slot. but CJ Gardner Johnson's been great at that too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick the Steelers so that we disagree on one. I think it's interesting. You know, you got the Packers fan picking against Aaron Rodgers, you got the Bears fan picking against the Bears.
I wish the Steelers defense was playing like who I thought they would be. Like we've seen
Well,
a good game out of them recently, but there's been a few really ugly ones. So they're not quite
yeah.
where I want them to be, and I just don't trust that risk to survive the game.
Yeah, no Darius Slay, no Alex Highsmith is a factor as well. But yeah, we're gonna disagree on this one, and but that's gonna be a great game regardless. So I'm looking forward to that one for sure. Let's talk about Patriots, the 9-2 Patriots at the 3-7 Bengals. New England comes in on an 8-game winning streak. The Bengals are on a 3-game losing streak. But the big factor here is it's looking like Joe Burrow might be playing in this game for Cincy. Do you think Joe Burrow is rushing it back too quickly, or are you excited to see him back?
I think he's coming back too soon.
Yeah.
I feel like he was getting anxious and they're letting him come back in too soon. And we've seen them do that in other seasons because he tends to get
Yeah.
injured.
Yeah.
And I think it's too soon. I think they're rushing back because they know New England has been on this ridiculously hot run. I feel like they coordinated the timeline of his return more with what the matchup was than what his actual recovery timeline looked like.
Yeah. And they're going through a really tough stretch right here. They got Patriots at Ravens at Bills versus Ravens. So Joe Burrow's like, if not now, then when, you know?
Yeah,
So he's rushing it for sure.
I
But
totally agree.
with a big factor here is Jamar Chase is suspended. So even with Joe Burrow, I don't see the Bengals doing enough to beat the Patriots here, right?
Right. I mean, although I will say T. Higgins has scored touchdowns in four straight games. If he
Mm-hmm.
gets another one, I feel like if I read correctly, that matches their longest streak by a wide receiver in
Wow.
consecutive TD games. But I feel like with Jamar Chase out, Higgins is going to be up against Christian Gonzalez, who has not allowed a single touchdown this season when he was
Yeah.
one-on-one in coverage. I feel like he's going to be very well covered. I feel like it's going to be a rough game for them to get any sort of big plays off. Um, and I hope Joe Burrow comes in. I hope he has a good game. I just don't trust them quite yet.
Yeah, we need to see what Joe Burrow looks like coming off that injury, missing as many games as he has. And then the X factor for New England is rookie running back Travion Henderson, who's going crazy the last 2 weeks with 5 touchdowns. And if the Patriots can take some pressure off of Drake May with Travion Henderson, that really makes things a lot easier for New England. No Trey Hendrickson for the Bengals in this game. So I think this is a pretty easy pick, Joe Burrow or not. No Jamar Chase. I think we're both going Patriots here.
Well, and as much as we talk about that Bengals offense, because they're mostly offense, their defense has allowed 27 or more points in nine consecutive games, which is tied with two other teams for the longest single season streak of allowing another team to score that many points in NFL history.
Yeah,
Like,
let's go ahead and make it 10. Let's pencil in
yeah,
10.
historically bad defense.
Yeah. So we agree on this one. We're both going to go Patriots in Cincinnati. Uh, it could be an interesting game, but no Chase, no Hendrickson is a big deal. So,
I hope it's
uh,
competitive. I hope it's back and forth, but I'm not going to
mhm.
pick it to be, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Let's go 2-9 Giants at the 6-4 Lions. The Lions are coming off an ass kicking, couldn't get their offense going at all in Philadelphia. 5 turnovers on downs. But I think this is a good game for the Lions to bounce back, right? At home and a wounded Giants team.
Yeah, it's great timing for Detroit. They need this one. Um,
Hmm.
that was an ugly game.
Yeah,
Um,
it was.
I I don't know what Dan Campbell was doing. I don't know what internal issues were going on where they just wouldn't do anything besides going for it on four. That was crazy. Like I would love to just be a fly on the wall. He's like, I'm gonna take over play calling so I can go for it on fourth down every single time.
Yeah.
Was that
I
the
think
plan?
it's a
Is that what we wanted
mistake.
to accomplish?
I think that move is going to backfire. And I go back to the offseason, not getting a proven offensive play caller. John
Mhm.
Morton didn't do it for me, and Dan Campbell sure as hell doesn't do it for me. I think the Lions are going to run into some issues there on offense, but not in this game.
Yeah, not in this one. I think this is a good bounce back game for them. And I love the Dan Campbell playing against the team that drafted him. I think that's a cute little
Okay.
storyline. Like
Yeah.
we always love when history circles back around in these.
Yeah, Jameis Winston starting for the Giants, but New York will be without Kayvon Thibodeau and Paulson Adebo.
The
Sucks
Lions,
for
Sam Porta out for the season
yeah,
again. Hmm.
that sucks. I know you hate to see that.
I feel like they make bad play call decisions that lead to their star players being injured every single year.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean, the game might be closer than we're thinking with Terry Arnold and Kirby Joseph out too, but I just feel like the Lions were embarrassed and they got something to prove in this one.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to put up some points on offense. They're probably going to score 30 plus, and I don't think the Giants have enough firepower to match it. So we agree on the Lions here at home. Good bounce back win. Let's talk about your Packers playing the Vikings. That's always a fun matchup. The Vikings aren't exactly playing their best football coming in, so Green Bay needs
Wait,
to.
hold up, hold up. Neither is Green Bay. Just circle
but
back
they're
around.
but they're winning. But they're winning. That's the
Uh,
key.
it's I have no faith in the Packers right now. I'm so embarrassed. I don't know what to say. I don't want to talk about Packers
Well,
games.
well,
Uh,
what I will tell you is that you were right on about sitting JJ McCarthy behind a veteran, and the Vikings went all in on him way too soon, and he's clearly not ready for it.
no, I liked the concept of him. I think he has potential, but you can't throw a rookie quarterback in who spent his college career handing the ball off to a Blake Corum, to a Cam Scadaboo type player, and
Yep.
then just throw him in and expect him to be a great passer and to know what to do when his O-line isn't giving him 45 seconds to get the ball out. Like
Yeah.
it's not fair to the quarterback.
I think this is a great game for Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary, though. I think they're going to be getting after the quarterback. Aaron Jones facing his former team, that's something, but uh, Josh Jacobs, I believe, is going to play, right? Matthew Golden, Lucas Van Ness, I believe, are all playing. Jaden Reed, however, is out.
Jaden Reed stays out.
Hey,
It's fine.
don't hate on my
There's always
starting wide receiver.
always somebody out. The Lions have 34% of their starters on the injury report this week. That,
Jeez.
that's over a third, guys. It's a great look. We may as well be the 49ers at this point. I will say one thing I like is um, Xavier McKinney was like, hey, I know I only have two picks on the season, but the picks are coming. This Vikings team is prime for that. They've committed the second most turnovers, tied for the sixth fewest in takeaways. So I feel like our turnover ratio should be pretty solid in this one going in. And as much as Flores says he believes in the team's process for forcing turnovers, clearly it's not
Yeah.
working. He's like, yeah, I believe in them. We have the sixth worst mark in the NFL. Like sometimes coaches say things and I feel like they're reading a script and there's no thought going into what they're saying. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, well, I believe in what they're doing, like, but they're not doing anything.
um, I think, yeah, I think. Oh, so I got the Packers at home here. I think you do too.
Yeah.
But I think Kevin O'Connell is getting a little too much hype for being this elite offensive play caller, quarterback developer, quarterback guru type of
I feel
guy.
like Sam Darnold is just better than everybody thought he was, and he made KOC look real good last year. That's what I think it is.
Yeah, I think people fell in love with the Vikings going what 14-3, and were like, "Oh, Kevin O'Connell is Jesus." But
I think it was all Darnold, and that's words I never thought I would say. But I mean, look what he's doing in Seattle, and KOC gets a rookie QB and hasn't developed a goddamn hair on his head.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
So go
I
ahead.
will say, I know Green Bay was super heated after dropping four interceptions last week. Our defensive players let four perfect picks slip through their hands. Um, they've been practicing on that all week. There were some clips from practice, and all they're doing is trying to grab interceptions. So I think Jameis might have a rough day. I hope Jameis has a rough day. I love Jameis, or not Jameis, JJ.
JJ.
But if
Jameis
you
is a
look
pretty
at
good
how
gambler,
Jameis was playing in the last matchup, like there were so many more picks. So I hope
yeah.
JJ has a day like Jameis. That's what I was trying to say. Their names are too similar.
Mhm.
Too many
No,
damn J's.
JJ will throw some interception worthy passes for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean,
So
if
keep
Jameis
him
was
this
doing it 5 times and we only caught one of them, like JJ's, I have
time.
hope. I have faith in him this week to throw us some picks.
So Packers at home should be able to get the win there, get back on a winning streak. And the Vikings on a 2-game losing streak, so they've lost 4 of their last 5. They're not in a good spot right now.
I will say I do
Um,
think Aaron Jones is going to have a great game. I think he'll probably get a little Lambeau leap in there. Green Bay has been awful against running backs the past 4 weeks.
how do
Um,
you think how do you think Packer fans will respond to an Aaron
we
Jones
love
Vikings
him.
Lambeau
We loved him. Like when he came back for the first time, we were like, "Hey, man, like it's all love there." I think it was a choice between him and Josh Jacobs, and I think everyone kind of knew who was gonna win out there. He's doing great in his new home. He's happy. We're happy. Like I don't think there's any hard feelings.
Don't be soft, Packer fans. If a Viking jumps into your stands, you gotta dump a beer on him. I don't care. I
Um,
don't
it's
care.
no, it's cheese. You dump nacho cheese on them.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
move. It's they're cheeseheads. They got to dump the cheese. No, I think that's really shitty. I think if it was Aaron Jones, I think if it was anyone else, we're gonna start a fight. But I think Aaron Jones, we'd be like, hey, buddy, as long as Green Bay is still in the lead, I think it'll be fine. If we're down 30 points and he does it, like somebody knock his ass out. Like, no.
Let's talk about the 7-3 Seahawks at the 1-9 Titans. Sam Darnold coming off a 4 interception game. The Titans on a 5-game losing streak. Another get right game. Seattle really needs this one, and they should be able to turn it around quickly, get that bad taste out of their mouth from last week.
Yeah, I think the defense did a great job keeping him in last week. And I've said some pretty positive things about the Seattle defense. I think Darnold had a real rough week, but I mean, you look at who they played versus who they're going up against this week. Like, I think there's no way anyone picks Tennessee here.
Yeah, the Titans were surprisingly competitive last week. I forget who it was against, but the Texans. But I don't. The Seahawks are going to be pissed off, and I feel like they're going to win this one pretty handedly. The
But also
defense,
the
like you
Texans,
said,
I feel like they were looking to the Bills game. I don't think they were
yeah,
paying attention to the Titans. I think they were fully focused on the date they had circled on the calendar, and it was not against Tennessee.
yeah. So we agree with the Seahawks in Nashville. That should be a pretty straightforward game. This game I'm really looking forward to, though, the 8-2 Colts at the 5-5 Chiefs. And the Chiefs are coming in on a 2-game losing streak. Patrick Mahomes has never had a 3-game losing streak in his NFL career. Do you think it starts on Sunday?
So I was back and forth on this one a lot too. I mean, the Colts are looking at having their full secondary intact for the first time this season with Travarius Ward potentially coming back from IR next week.
Yeah.
Like they're getting so close to being fully healthy. Like Ward, Sauce Gardner, Kenny Moore, Cam Bynum, Nick Cross, like that's a nasty, nasty secondary. So I feel like there's a lot of hope and positivity there, but the Chiefs are under pressure. They aren't feeling great about where they're at. Patrick Mahomes was super clutch against the Broncos, which we don't need. I don't like when a game ends in an interception. I don't need that in this game. I want to see the Colts be challenged. I don't want Patrick Mahomes throwing that ugly ass clutch interception to help the other team win. Like that's
Yeah.
that's not the matchup we want here. I want the Colts to be challenged. I think they've got a lot of talent. I think their record might be there might be some luck in there, some Indiana Jones magic a little bit. But I'm excited for this matchup. This is one of those ones that these teams have very odd identities this season. Daniel Jones, 4 interceptions in his past 2 games, versus his first 8 games, he only had 3 total. So I feel like he's ready for a bounce back game. I don't know how good this Chiefs defense is going to be against him. I don't know if they're going to be going after the balls because we've seen both sides of this Chiefs defense. So I don't know here. I will say that the Colts defense has been pretty soft against tight ends, and Travis Kelce seems to be finding his stride this season finally. So
Yeah.
that might be a matchup to watch.
Well, you get me fired up here for this one, and so
Are
I'm
you gonna
not.
pick the Colts?
Huh?
Are you picking the Colts? I've got Kansas City winning. I think Kansas City is just embarrassed and it's like a must-win situation for them. I don't think they can even imagine being less than 500 in week 12. I don't think that's something that they will allow to stand.
So this is starting to become a thing here, but this is going to be my lock of the century pick of the week. Give me the Chiefs at home here. I think the magic, the Indiana Jones magic has worn off. I think we've got New York Giants Daniel Jones here.
Mm.
Not just 4 interceptions in the last 2 games, but 6 fumbles. He's got 10. He's just sloppy right now. And I don't trust him. You got George Karlaftis, Chris Jones, you've got Mike Dana, you've got guys that can get after the quarterback, and plus you've got a pissed off Chiefs team that is 5-5. They don't feel like they're a 500 worthy team. Patrick Mahomes is mad. He feels like he threw the game away last week against Denver. I think the Chiefs are going to be ready to go in this one, and they might win this one by double digits. I'm all in on the Chiefs here. I know the Chiefs aren't the same old Chiefs that, won all those Super Bowls, but this is still Patrick Mahomes, still Travis Kelce, still Andy Reid, and
Yeah, I,
still Steve
you
Spagnuolo.
don't have to talk me into it. I picked Kansas City.
I'm
I will
all in on the
say
Chiefs.
for the hope and the positivity of seeing a woman owner doing so much and being hands-on and just learning as she goes and being on the sidelines with the clipboard. I hope the Colts aren't a fluke. I hope we don't see New York Giants,
Well,
Daniel Jones back.
then,
Nobody wants that. Like I want them to be successful, but I do think the Chiefs are a better team and the Colts have kind of ridden on fumes a little bit in some of their wins. It's been some lucky stuff. But I just don't think the Chiefs are going to allow themselves to lose three in a row.
yes, I agree. And let me push back on what you said there just slightly. I'm rooting for her too. I think she's going about it the right way. I love that she's wearing the headset
Yeah.
and she's trying to learn on the job and everything.
She can't
But
make
the
a player be more talented than they are. I'm just saying, like,
exactly.
I
And to that point, I don't want Daniel Jones to be good because if Daniel Jones is good, then the Colts are going to have to pay him 40 mil a year after this season, and he's not worth it. I'm telling you, the best way for her to earn her reputation and be a great owner is to draft
yeah.
the next franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a year and go get Arch Manning, right? Bring him into Indy.
God, no, we don't need another Manning in Indianapolis. Ugh. No,
But
yeah,
yeah,
I don't think he's the guy, but I do want them to finish with like a solid winning record. I want them to have a
yeah,
good
make the
season just
playoffs.
because that's a fantastic way to come into ownership. Like it's a
Yeah.
good look for her. I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl, but a winning record and some solid wins, I think gets her off to a great start in her new position.
Yeah. And Jonathan Taylor being a running back winning MVP, that would be pretty cool. So,
I think we need to reevaluate the MVP conversation being just quarterbacks.
yes.
I'm not loving that. I don't think anyone deserves it this year.
They
Uh,
should have like most valuable quarterback
mhm.
and then
MVQB.
offensive player of the year or I don't know, something
Yeah,
so that everyone feels appreciated, not just quarterbacks.
agreed.
So we agree on the Chiefs at home against the Colts. I can't wait for that matchup.
I think
I know
I
another
think
game I'm
Jonathan
going.
Taylor gets Offensive Player of the Year if he doesn't get MVP.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's what Saquon Barkley got last year,
Yeah.
right?
It feels like such a participation, like a honorable mention award though. Like,
But it shouldn't. I mean, that's still a
yeah.
hell of an award, you
Yeah,
know?
but this year I feel like it would be. Like if they give it to a quarterback with no quarterback, like we
Yeah.
could have talked about Josh Allen a few weeks ago and then he drops a couple of hideous games. Like we can't talk about Patrick Mahomes. They're 500 going into week tw like no, like there's no obvious QB choice. Like it shouldn't be a quarterback then.
Yeah, who would you even give it to right now, right? Like
Jonathan
Jonathan
Taylor.
Taylor. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I know you're looking forward to this matchup as the 2-8 Jets go to Baltimore to take on the 5-5 Ravens. Ravens on a 4-game winning streak, and here comes Tyrod Taylor in for Justin Fields. The Ravens, they haven't looked perfect in the process, but if they can get their fifth straight win, they're building something, and maybe they can still win the AFC North.
Yeah, I don't love Tyrod Taylor. I think the Jets are just struggling everywhere. Like I get that he's stepping in to replace Justin Fields, who was struggling, but I just think their pass catchers are just so young. They haven't developed good chemistry yet. Like Adonai Mitchell with some ugly drops, just
Yeah.
like horrible. Uh, I just I don't have a lot of faith in offensive weapons. Like regardless of if the quarterback looks better, like you've got to have somebody who can catch your throws. Like I just feel like it's going to be ugly. I will say that if the Jets defense plays a good game, Lamar Jackson has been sacked the most throughout his career this season. So they could
Yeah.
get after him. They've recorded 8 sacks in its past 2 games. Um, and they're playing pretty damn well on defense. So I think I think it might be closer than we're expecting, but I don't think the Ravens are gonna lose this one.
If you're not going to start Justin Fields at quarterback and you're going to start Tyrod Taylor, I heard this on a podcast and tell me if you agree. Justin Fields is probably one of your best playmakers, regardless of position. So
Mhm.
why not bring him onto the field at running back, wide
I was gonna
receiver?
say
Use him.
put him in, let him use his feet.
Yeah,
This is one of those situations where I don't think some players were coached and advised properly when they were in college about what position they should be playing.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
Kyler Murray is another one.
yeah.
Justin Fields, like these guys shouldn't have been plunked in at quarterback and then just left there because they were athletic. I feel like there would be better positions for them to have transitioned to for the NFL that they would be better in.
Yeah, that's something that used to be a much bigger problem, and it's become less and less, but it still obviously is an issue. You can play one style in college and be super successful. You can be a Heisman candidate, but then you get to the pros and it's a whole different ball game. So yeah, I agree with that. Um, I'm actually looking forward to this matchup, and you're gonna be like, why? But it's because
I
Shadur
am. I hate this one. I literally wrote you instead of a pick. I just wrote you.
But Shadur Sanders making his NFL debut, his first career start, and go ahead and write this down in marker and pen and pencil, whatever you want to write it down with. Shadur Sanders is going to ball out in this game. He's going to kill it. I think like 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, and the Browns are going to win this game in Vegas. What do you think?
I agree. I don't think that Shador could possibly come into this game without a massive chip on his shoulder. Like Vegas
Yeah.
passed on him. That's where he wanted to go. Like
Yeah.
everyone thought he was going to go there. They passed on him in the draft. And this is the first week he's gotten to do first team reps with his team.
Yeah.
I mean, if he isn't issuing a giant FU on the field to his current management situation, if you have two rookie quarterbacks who are supposedly competing for the same job, why is only one of them taking reps with the first team, with the starters?
God, I never understood that.
That makes no fucking sense. Like,
Yeah.
neither one of them is a proven NFL quarterback. Like, it's halfway through season, like their rookie season. Give them alternating reps, like alternate practices. Who gets the starters? It doesn't make any sense to me. So I feel like he has so much to prove in this one. I don't. Yeah, I think I can't even argue with you. I think he's going to have a great game. If he doesn't, there needs to be a bigger conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that he gets an opportunity, and I feel like it would behoove him to come in spicy and sassy and just commit to doing anything he can to pull off this win.
Yeah, if he doesn't play well, then the Browns are back at square one where they've been for years without a franchise quarterback. But if he comes in and balls out, he'll give this fan base and this organization some hope. And that is my biggest issue. What you brought up is that the Browns, the reason they've been so unsuccessful for all these years is they're so much more caught up in the politics of football than in winning football. And I think the reason they were keeping Shadur on the sideline and not letting him practice with the ones, the only reason I can think of is politics. Some people in
Mhm.
the organization never wanted to draft him. Others, forced the hand. I think ownership forced the hand and said, "Hey, you drafted Dylan Gabriel. We're still taking Shadur."
Well, I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
from a PR stance, it makes sense. The Browns have had a lot of negative press about certain personalities and people in the franchise over the last couple of years. So bringing in a big name and all that media attention, if he didn't pan out from a PR standpoint, I might want to avoid that too. Like just let's kind of temper that down a little bit. The one thing I'm a little concerned about is Sanders took sacks on 7.5% of his dropbacks. Max Crosby is going to be going after him.
Yeah.
And I do expect Crosby to get to him a few times. But I don't know if you were watching that O line for the Raiders played like I don't know. They played like ass on Monday. 16 pressures, 4 sacks, like they were horrible. I think Myles Garrett is going to be going after Geno Smith just as much as Max Crosby is going to be trying to get to Shador, but I do think the O line for the Browns is way better than the Raiders O line. Like they looked so bad. Stone Forsythe, who the fuck is that? He's horrible. You can't have a name like Stone and then crumble like tissue every time someone runs at you. Absolutely no. Also, I don't know if you know this. We just talked a whole bunch of shit about JJ McCarthy. Geno Smith is the only other quarterback besides JJ McCarthy that has more interceptions than passing touchdowns this season.
He is really struggling. Yeah, he's going to be one and done there. That was a failed experiment. You know, we had much higher expectations for Geno reuniting with Pete Carroll, playing under Chip Kelly. You know, but it's not. It's clearly not working out. And Chip Kelly is going to be gone too. That's not working. Why do these NFL teams keep bringing Chip Kelly back to the league? He's clearly a college guy. So let's go to 6-4 Jags at the 3-7 Cardinals. Jacksonville looked very impressive last week with a 35-6 blowout win over the Chargers. The Cardinals, on the other hand, have not looked impressive. They've lost 7 of their last 8. They've given up 40 plus points in back-to-back weeks. And there's no reason to think that the Jags can't come in and put up damn near 40 themselves, you know. But is Jacoby Brissett going to break his own record and throw the ball 60 times in this game? What do you think?
I mean, they still lost by 20. Him breaking an NFL receptions record is crazy to me. Like completion,
Yeah,
what was he like 47 of
57. Yeah,
57? Yeah. But like, how are you gonna lose by 20 points? Like where did all those yards go? I
I don't know.
like your red
So,
zone offense is garbage. To waste that many yards, like that's and only have 22 points. That is absolutely insane to me. Um, yeah, I don't have anything to say with this one. I feel like it's going to be a very lopsided game.
yeah.
I think the Cardinals 17 penalties against the 49ers is nauseating. Um, Horrible decision making. I just yeah. They went backwards almost every snap with the penalty. Like it was hideous. Um, my concern, I guess the only concern I would have in this one is the Jags wide receivers have 13 drops. Five more than
Yeah.
any other. Like I don't know what the issue is with drops.
Well, that's why they traded for Jacoby Myers because
Yeah,
drops have been such an issue.
I feel like it's been an
But
issue around the league though. Like
yeah.
we've seen some like really like I know we've got a lot of injured starting receivers this season, but stop dropping the fuck like you have one job, catch the ball.
Oh man, DJ Moore had some big drops for the Bears last week.
There's been
Green
some
Bay's had a bunch
ugly
of
ones. Green
drops.
Bay, yeah.
Yeah.
We had so last week Jordan Love had 11 incompletions, 7 of them were drops.
Jeez. Gotta stop it. We put that stick 'em on their hands or get some new
Mhm.
gloves or something.
Let's cheat. Something.
Yeah. um, yeah, no Marvin Harrison for the Cardinals, no running back Amari Mercado, no Brian Thomas Jr. for the Jags, but none of that really matters. I got Jacksonville in Arizona for the win.
Yep.
So do you. Uh, yeah, shouldn't be that big of a deal. And the Jags, the best thing Jacksonville's been doing lately is running the ball. So if they can run the ball in Arizona, should be an easy win. Um, let's go. The 4-5-1 Cowboys are hosting the 8-2 Eagles. Philly comes in on a 4-game winning streak. I actually think this is going to be a really competitive matchup. Dallas has been playing better of late. Their defense is a lot better with Quinnen Williams, DeMarvion Overshown back. The Eagles' offense has struggled at times. I think this is going to be a great matchup. How do you see this one going?
I would like to see the Eagles defense from last week versus the Cowboys offense from the Packers game, the 40-point game.
Hmm.
That's the matchup I want to see. I want to see how those two fare against each other. Um, I I feel like I got to pick the Eagles here just because I don't trust the Cowboys. Also, 4-5-1 is the I hate having to say pick, so I'm just gonna be anti-Cowboys for the rest of the season. I do think Dak has some personal pressure on in this game because he's close to a Tony Romo record. So I feel like
Yeah.
he's going, hey, I just need 160. Like, so I feel like he's gonna be eyeing his stats a little bit from the sidelines. So I expect a good game from Dak, but the Cowboys looking good on defense on Monday was because they were playing the Raiders.
Yeah, that could be.
I don't know how much faith I have in them yet. I mean, it's such a different test. I mean, Quinnen Williams, Logan Wilson, like they looked good. And I know you love Demarvion over
Overshown, yeah.
like he's fantastic. But how are they going to look against Hurts and Devontae Smith and AJ Brown's temper tantrums and Saquon? Like, I just feel like the Eagles are going to win this one. I think it'll might be lower scoring. I want to see good defense from both teams though, because they've each had games with fantastic defense and absolutely no defense.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's going to look like. Like, is the Eagles' offense gonna show up and put up 30? And is it gonna be a shootout, or is Philly's defense gonna hold Dallas's offense in check? And I think either way, it's gonna be a tight, competitive matchup. I don't think anyone runs away with it. Um, at Dallas is it's interesting. I do think Dak breaks Tony Romo's record, franchise record, but I can't pick the Cowboys until I see it. You know what I mean? And so I'm with you. If Eagles by like 3 points, maybe 4 points, but very competitive. But the Eagles find a way to do just enough, right?
Something to keep an eye on though. Dak Prescott has won 18 straight home divisional games. So he's tied with Brett Favre for the second longest streak behind Tom Brady's 20 streak from
Wow.
7 to 14. So it would be breaking a pretty long streak for him if he did lose this one. But I mean, if you look back at their matchup in week one, Dallas allowed 304 yards on offense. And I just feel like Philly was not anywhere near as cohesive as they are now. I feel like they're much more efficient. We've seen Philly just improve to this point in the season. Yeah, I think the Eagles will pull this one off.
I'm gonna go ahead and call it. This is gonna be the AJ Brown breakout game. Yeah, like 2 touchdowns, I say.
Okay. I
Um,
see some deep passes to him. The
yeah,
Eagles are second in air yards per attempt. Dallas's defense is second worst in air yards allowed. So
yeah,
get
yeah.
him
Because
out to the open.
I don't think the Eagles are gonna go all in on the running game with Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark, right? Um, so we agree on that one. How many have we disagreed on so far? One.
One.
What did we disagree on?
The first one, Chicago, Pittsburgh. You picked against the Bears
No.
because you're a terrible Bears fan.
All right. Damn.
There's
We're
three
gonna-
more. You could pick Atlanta or New Orleans or Tampa Bay to
You,
beat LA.
you were supposed to take the Colts.
No, same.
All right, let's do Falcons Saints. Hey, we might disagree on Falcons Saints. I'm gonna disagree on this one just so you have to watch this game.
I literally have a question mark because this one could literally go either way.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be hideous. I don't want to watch it. Um,
Yeah, but it's your boy Kirk Cousins.
yeah, but like I haven't been enjoying Atlanta this season at all. Atlanta can fight me. Let me grab my quarter. I dropped it.
Yeah, you gotta flip your quarter. See what
Yeah,
it says.
I've gone against the quarter for 3 weeks in a row and been right. So let's see what the Falcon quarter says. Says they're gonna lose. So I will stick with my New Orleans question mark pick. So y'all, I don't know if you understand the quarter thing. I went 0-7 with Atlanta to start the season. I've never even gone 0-5 with any team to start the season. Like it was disgusting. I was ashamed. brought shame on my family, shame on my cow. Like it was bad. So we wrote it on a quarter, and then I started arguing with the quarter, and I was right. So, oh well, it worked out anyway.
Well, yeah, so Kirk Cousins starting for Atlanta against Tyler Shuck for the Saints. The Saints are coming off their bye week, and if you remember, the Saints beat the Panthers in week 10, 17-7. Atlanta will be without Drake London, Zach Harrison, Billy Bowman. Alvin Kamara is questionable for the Saints. Division rivalry game, two bad teams, two teams that are struggling. It could go either way. The Saints have looked better of late, and the Falcons have not with that 5-game losing streak. But the Falcons have been close a couple
Mhm.
weeks in a row now
It's
too.
been really
So
competitive. I
yeah,
do. I talked a lot of shit about Shuck. Like you were like, "Oh, I hope you're ready to say all Shucks." Like, and I was like, "That's stupid. He sucks." He actually has really good chemistry with Juwan Johnson and Chris Olave. Like
yeah.
they've been connecting really well. They had big games against the Panthers before the bye week. I kind of rolled with the team coming off an extra week of rest. It makes a little bit more sense. I just feel like so much has been upturned in Atlanta over the last week. The Saints just seem a little more stable.
All right, you're going Saints. I'm gonna go Falcons. Then we disagree on our second game of the week. Kirk needs to be wearing those chains. He needs to be saying you like that post game.
Listen, I love spicy Kirk Cousins, but he has been in straight Midwestern dad mode for way too long. Like he needs to,
Yeah,
yeah, we need
yeah.
spicy Kirk back.
Yeah, let's get Bijan Robinson involved. And where the hell has Kyle Pitts been his entire NFL career? Let's get Kyle Pitts going for once.
Who? Is he still in the NFL? He's my new Von Miller. Like, oh, I didn't realize he was still in the league.
Yeah. So, all right, we disagree on that one.
I will say
Falcons
though,
and Saints.
this isn't one that I picked with like, oh my God, no, there's no way in hell they're going to beat him. So you don't even get to come back and talk shit about this one. This one could have gone either way.
You said this was your lock of the century.
No.
Let's go Sunday night football. Your Tampa Bay Bucks, Baker Mayfield on a 2-game losing streak, looking to avoid a 3-game losing streak, but they're at the Rams, who have been red hot. They've won 5 in a row.
But in
Uh,
their defense, that last loss would have beat 30 other teams in the NFL. That was
yeah,
a beautiful performance.
and the Rams looked not convincing against Seattle last week, despite all
Yeah.
the turnovers too.
Yeah. I know they're both on streaks here, but I feel like the Rams Seattle gave them that game. Seattle kept trying to lose that game. The Rams kept trying to give it back. Like they're like, no, we don't want to win. Like, but I
Hmm.
mean, Tampa Bay, that Bills game, that was such a great performance from them. Like, I feel like if it was any other team on any other week, they would have won by 15. Like,
Yeah,
what a rough week to have that matchup because they
yeah.
were
The score,
firing on all cylinders.
yeah, their defense needs to get going in Tampa a little bit. I don't know what the issue's been the last couple of weeks, but the game was a lot closer last week than the score indicates against Buffalo.
What's crazy is the Bucks allow the second fewest points. They're tied for the second most takeaways,
Wow.
just not against Buffalo.
Yeah. So weird. We've been saying it all season long. It's such a week to week league. You don't know who you're gonna get.
Never have I ever seen an NFL season where any given Sunday has been more of a motto. Like I feel like
Yeah.
that was the theme for the season, and that was the script that they threw out there. Like, hey, just do some weird shit, see what happens.
12 weeks in, we're doing the same shit still.
I
So,
flipped a quarter, guys. What?
so who are you going here? Are you going Bucks?
No,
You
I'm
going
going
Rams?
Rams. Yeah. Devontae Adams is just so good right now. I mean, he's one touchdown shy of the second longest streak by a Rams player. Stafford is going to have a great game. The Bucks kind of force you to pass because they're really good against the run. And Stafford's deep throws and connections, like I expect Stafford to have 400 yards in this one. I think the weaknesses for the Bills don't match up well against the Rams' strengths.
Yeah, and so you have a 2-game lead on me. I cut that down from 4 to 2 last week. I had an incredible week last week. I don't know where that came from, but
Because the league is on crack. That's why.
well, I love the crackhead league.
Where you thrive.
So I can't believe, and you know what's my favorite thing to do? It's when Amanda picks against Baker Mayfield. I know she feels guilty doing it, so I have to like,
Okay,
you know, give her shit and pick
so my
Baker.
pick says probably Rams, but maybe Tampa Bay. That's my pick.
Okay.
That's what it says.
So you might be like Sunday right before Sunday night kickoff, you're like, I'm going Bugs.
Yeah, I might switch. I was kind of hoping you'd take the Rams to leave it open for me, but
Yeah,
I
but just to spite you, I'm gonna go Bugs.
I'm gonna leave it open to pick on vibes. Like depending
Okay.
on how spicy Baker looks in the pregame, like I might switch.
But that should be a great game on Sunday night. A lot of fun to watch that
Also, if
one.
Green Bay loses, you'll know I won't be able to root against Baker Mayfield. So,
Okay. Green Bay's not gonna lose. If Green Bay loses, that's gonna be a bad loss if they lose that.
oh, I'm aware. You know how many bad losses slash ties we have this season? We lost to the fucking Browns and Carolina. Okay, zip it.
Right now, my Super Bowl picks aren't looking as hot as they were a couple weeks ago.
Fractured wrist, old man Rogers over there, and the Packers doing what they're doing.
Let's go Monday Night Football. Another great matchup, sneaky good matchup here. The 6-5 Panthers at the 7-4 49ers. Brock Purdy came back last week and looked solid. 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, put up 41 points on the Cardinals.
Yeah,
But
they're
Bryce
getting healthy
Young,
at the right fucking time. I gotta
they
say that.
are.
Like
Yeah.
early in the season, it was starter after starter after starter going out, and they timed their returns from IR great for a late season run.
Yeah, and I think they might be the best coach team in the NFL right now. Kyle Shanahan, Robert Saleh, and then you got Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, Kittle, all those guys. I like what the
There is
49ers are doing,
there are
but
very few teams who have survived that many injuries and still have a winning record. Like what they
yeah,
did with as many starters as were out is crazy.
yeah. And but the Panthers, Bryce Young broke the franchise record last week. 448.
448.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. So
Quick
this might
question.
be.
What alternate universe are we living in where Bryce Young and Jacoby Brissett are throwing 450? Like
It's crazy. I think it's like you look at the top passing leaders like per game this year, and the
Russell
top guys
Wilson,
is so weird.
Bryce Young, Jacoby
Yeah,
Brissett. And
yeah,
so I don't know.
um,
It's a strange year.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, did you realize this is the first time Christian McCaffrey has played the Panthers since
No, I
he was
didn't.
on their team? Yeah.
Wow, he's gonna go off then. I bet.
Mhm. Yeah, I picked San Francisco in this one for that reason alone. I do think both teams are solid, but San Francisco is getting healthy at the absolute right time. I feel like they have more talent. I think they're coached better. Carolina's had a softer schedule, and like I just there's no way McCaffrey like he was traded what halfway through the 2022 season. There's no way he doesn't come into this one and doesn't go off.
Yeah, I agree. Um, and the Panthers, this is what they are. They're a week to week league, and they're about a 500 team, and so I
Mhm.
expect them to fall back to 6-6 here. And the 49ers are the better team. They're the more well coached team. They're the more talented team. So this is a no brainer. 49ers at home should take care of business there and get to 8-4. So we disagree on two, possibly three, and hopefully three. That way I can retake the lead. But we'll
I don't
see.
know. You having faith in the Falcons here is interesting. We'll see. We'll see how that one
That
plays
is
out.
sketchy. I'm putting my faith in the Falcons and the Steelers.
The Falcons and a broken wrist.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that.
But uh it's getting to be the best time of year. We got Thanksgiving next week. I can't wait for that. Um and yeah, the playoff picture is starting to get clearer here. So
No, it's not. Don't lie. It is not
well, it
clear. It is
will
confusing as hell. I don't know. It's weird.
be.
No.
But yeah, gonna be a great week. Go ahead and tell us in the comments if you disagree with us, if you have the Vikings beating Green Bay or the Bears beating the Steelers or whoever you got. Great shit as always, Amanda. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and have a great week, guys. Peace out.